Anfield. Anfield. Liverpool 4. Newcastle United 2. Okay? What a game that was. What a great game of football that was, and understanding the fact that even though it was one-sided, mostly, but it was actually a great game of football to actually watch. Great game, mesmerizing game of Premier League football. You understand? We know this rivalry. The teams from the north. You understand? Liverpool taking on Newcastle. We always promised goals. We are always promised, some action-packed football. We are always promised some sort of that sauce. You understand? That entertainment that we know that this fixture has always produced over the years, right? That's exactly what happened in this clash. We couldn't expect anything less from both these sides, right? But obviously, we knew that Liverpool were going to win this game. It was a clear given fact from, before the game actually started, right? What you could actually say is that Newcastle maybe they try to utilize Man United's strategy, because look what Manchester United did a few weeks ago at Anfield. Manchester United were able to grab a result, a 0-0 draw at Anfield, irrespective of the fact that obviously all odds were against them, right? Obviously, considering that Liverpool were obviously going to be dominant in that entire encounter, but Manchester United was still able to get a result. So it was up to Newcastle to actually try and copy that strategy, learn from what Eric Ten Hag's men were able to accomplish in that game, which was to actually keep a great defensive unit and actually capitalize, pounce on Liverpool via counter-attack, right? But actually Manchester United weren't able to do that. Yes, they were able to keep a high defensive line. They were able to stay compact and work together as a team. Same with Newcastle, but it wasn't going to work forever, to be honest. Because Liverpool always have something up their sleeve. You understand? They always have something up their sleeve, especially when they play at Anfield. Understanding the fact that the fans, are on their side, they're rallying with the team. Understanding the fact that they've got the quality and the team. You understand, the quality players that know how to deliver something out of nothing. And that's exactly what we saw. First 45 minutes, obviously it was one-sided, right? Mohamed Salah missing from the spot kick. The penalty came as follows when Luis Diaz was actually brought down by Sven Botman, the Dutch defender. That was a very clumsy foul from Botman, but look, he was under pressure. Luis Diaz was in on goal. So obviously the best thing was to stop the Colombian winger, was to actually bring him down in the box and actually concede a penalty, which unfortunately Mo Salah couldn't convert. That could have been the first goal for Liverpool of 2024. But unfortunately Mo Salah couldn't convert, as it was a great save by Dubravka, who is actually stepping in for Nick Pope, the injured Nick Pope. And Dubravka, made some telling saves in this game. Great save from Dubravka, denying Mo Salah from 12 yards out. Alexander-Arnold on the rebound could have done much better. You understand? Alexander-Arnold could have done much better on the rebound. He didn't get the sweetest of strikes on that one. I don't think he even looked like connecting, getting a clean connection on that strike. He should have done much better on the rebound, which was way over the bar. Luis Diaz also had a goal ruled out due to VAR, rightfully so, because Darwin Núñez was in a slightly offside position. You understand? So unfortunately, Luis Diaz was denied a goal, but he actually played very well in this game. Considering the fact that Luis Diaz, the Colombian, hasn't been on fine form. He has been misfiring over the past few games or so. But in this particular encounter, he was really lively for Liverpool. He even created an opening for himself, dribbling past a few Newcastle United defenders to enforce a shot. Unleashed a great shot, which was also saved by Dubravka. And on the rebound, Curtis Jones failed to convert. It was a great block once again by the Newcastle United defense. Darwin Núñez had a couple of opportunities. You understand? The first being when he was set through on goal. Again, great save by Dubravka. And Liverpool were just all over their opponents. The best chance that Newcastle actually had was when Alexander Isak, You understand? Set up Alexander Isak, but he had a shot on goal, but it was actually wide of the mark. So that was basically Newcastle United's best effort of the game, best effort of the first half. They also had a goal ruled out due to VAR because Alexander Isak was offside. It was actually scored by Dan Burn, but obviously it was an offside, and rightfully so, right? Newcastle United's celebrations were short-lived, but hey, second half, that's when we saw all the action. Liverpool came out guns blazing, and it was only a matter of time until Mo Salah finally got his goal. Great combination from the front three. It was a move that was actually started by Dominic Szoboszlai, setting up Luis Diaz drifting into the, from the left, drifting into the center, setting Darren Núñez on his horse. Darren Núñez unselfishly slotting the ball back to Mo Salah. Simple tap in from 8 yards. You could never expect anything less from the Egyptian, getting his 150th Premier League goal for the Reds. Records and records. You understand? He keeps on breaking those records, Mo Salah. That was a great move, great combination from Liverpool's front three. And then from that point on, it was up. Liverpool were more dominant. Núñez again had a couple of chances, including a header that he unfortunately went wide of the mark. Núñez actually had 8 opportunities in this game. He had 8 chances to actually capitalize. Unfortunately, he was just not clinical in front of goal. There were certain opportunities that he had that he could have converted, but look, give credit to Dubravka once again, because the Newcastle goalkeeper Dubravka made some wonderful saves to actually keep the Magpies in the game. And guess what we actually spoke about? The counter-attack. That's exactly how Newcastle got their equalizer. You understand? In the 54th minute, guess who? Alexander Isak, once again. Great goal, great work from Anthony Gordon on the left-hand side. Actually creating some space, creating an opening for himself, actually setting up the Swede. The Swede capitalized on the counter-attack, curling the ball neatly into the bottom left corner, giving goalkeeper Alisson no chance. And look, the game was lively from that point onwards. But yes, Liverpool were more dominant from that point onwards. Yeah, it took them some sort of 20 minutes again just to get that second goal, but we could obviously tell that it was coming. I understand. Jurgen Klopp made some great substitutions, bringing on Cody Gakpo, bringing on Diogo Jota, who actually, those are the 2 players that actually changed the complexion of the game. They actually brought in more energy into Liverpool's attack. They actually brought in more action. You understand? They were very problematic for that Newcastle defense, because you could see that Newcastle defense as well as the midfield could not contain both of those players. That's why you could see even Mo Salah was like really more lively from that point onwards as well. So it was a matter of time until we knew that Liverpool were going to get the second goal. You understand? Cody Gakpo had a great opportunity, which was a great save again. You understand? Great save again from Dubravka. Dubravka used all parts of his body just to keep the Magpies in the tie. He used all parts of his body, whether it was his legs, his hands, even his stomach. You understand? He was just on point. You understand? He's capitalizing on the fact that Nick Pope, the Newcastle United's first choice goalkeeper, is actually out injured, so he's actually capitalizing on his opportunity, right? Hopefully we see that at Manchester United, due to the fact that Andre Onana, Manchester United's first choice goalkeeper, will be on international duty with Cameroon at the African Cup of Nations, which is scheduled to kick off in 10 days time in Cote d'Ivoire, right? And we also saw Curtis Jones again on the rebound, failing to convert. But look, we knew that the goal was going to come. Alexander Arnold, he never ceases to amaze me. Alexander Arnold. He has this tendency of always making the difficult things look so effortless. He has a tendency of making the difficult things look so easy. Effortless at all times. Like that shot from, you could tell that he was attempting to go for a goal. From that tight angle, hitting the upright, the other side of the upright. Wow, man. He just never ceases to amaze me. He never ceases to amaze me. And eventually, look, Liverpool were going to get their reward. they did get their reward for their dominance, in the 74th minute. Once again, great combination play. Mo Salah, great combination play between Mo Salah as well as Diogo Jota. Diogo Jota actually cutting the ball across to Curtis Jones, who was in on goal. I understand it was just a simple tapping into an empty net. Just a simple tapping into an empty net, giving the Reds a deserved 2-1 lead. And then the game was sealed beyond any reasonable doubt. Great, outside of the foot cross. What a great outside of the foot cross by Mo Salah. Actually setting up Cody Gakpo, the substitute. Once again, great goal. He actually scuffed his effort, did the Dutchman. He scuffed his effort. You could tell that he really scuffed his effort. You didn't even think that was going in, but he was just very fortunate that it eventually went in. That was a great, assist from Mo Salah, right? And think about it, Salah has had more goals and assists in 2023 in Europe's top 5 leagues than any other player. So Salah, starting the 2024, starting the new year with a goal and assist already. Wow, he's just keeping that record intact. He's just keeping going. He's just consistent, man. The guy is always on his bike. Salah, whenever it's time to deliver, despite the fact that he did miss the spot kick, look, the guy is always ready to deliver. He's a guy who's always on his horse. You understand? And then, wow, we saw a comeback. We were thinking that maybe this might be a late comeback. But look, Newcastle United, they got their second goal. They pulled one back. Great corner by Longstaff, finding the head of the Dutch defender, Sven Botman, who actually made up for that the time when he was the one who actually conceded the first penalty. So this consolation goal did make up for his early error. Sven Botman, great goal once again, great header. And then Mo Salah, again, getting his brace from the penalty spot after Dubravka seemingly fouled Diogo Jota in the box to actually give Liverpool a late penalty. And then obviously we didn't expect anything less from Mo Salah, getting his brace, making up for the missed spot kick, right? So that is 3 points for all 3 points sealed for Liverpool. So now Liverpool, they move 3 points clear in the Premier League title race after beating Newcastle by 4-2 in a pulsating game in which they actually dominated, but only sealed it late on. You understand? So now that means that Liverpool actually posted 34 shots in the match to a backdrop of 7.27 of expected goals. The most in the Premier League since 2010. Right? Jurgen Klopp made 4 changes coming into this game following the win against Burnley, with Ibrahim Konate, Curtis Jones, Dominic Szoboszlai, as well as Luis Diaz returning to the fold. And then as for Newcastle, with the long list of injuries, because Newcastle are now missing 9 of their key players, 9 of their first team players. So they made 2 changes from the side which lost at home to Nottingham Forest last time out. As their captain, their right back, the reliable Kieran Trippier, was out with a groin injury. So that's actually a notable headline absentee. So he and as well as Miguel Almiron made way for Jolinton, as well as Tino Livramento, who has actually been wonderful this season. Livramento has had a wonderful season. And look, what a groundbreaking Premier League game of football. You understand? Especially for Mo Salah. He has been sensational this season. He has now scored 150 Premier League goals for Liverpool, which makes him the 5th player to actually reach this milestone for a single club in the competition. After obviously Harry Kane for Tottenham Hotspur, who scored 213 Premier League goals for Tottenham Hotspur. Sergio Aguero scored 184 Premier League goals for Manchester City. Wayne Rooney scored 183 Premier League goals for Manchester United, as well as Thierry Henry scored 175 Premier League goals for Arsenal. You understand? And now Liverpool are now unbeaten in 28 consecutive home Premier League games against Newcastle, winning 23, actually just drawing 5 of those ones, which is actually the joint longest home unbeaten run by a side against the specific opponent in the history of the competition. So the other team that I'm actually referring to in this instance is Chelsea. Chelsea also have a very long unbeaten run at home at the Stamford Bridge against Everton. Liverpool's local rivals, Everton, which is also ongoing. It's an ongoing run of 28 matches consecutive matches, home matches without defeat against Everton. And now for Newcastle, they've now lost 5 of their last Premier League games, only winning 1, suffering 5 successive away defeats for the first time since January 2021. So there's a lot of work to actually be done by Newcastle United, and now they still remain in 9th. They remain in 9th position. You know, they have themselves to blame, because I don't understand how did they lose that game to Nottingham Forest. I mean, they were in complete control of the game, but look, it's missed chances. Missed chances. Once you miss a lot of chances, those missed chances will always come back to bite you. They will always come back to haunt you. You understand? And Newcastle, surely they did learn the hard way, but they tried their best, but it was just not enough. Their best was not enough, as Liverpool walked away deserved winners of this game. You understand? At the top of the pile, Mo Salah, that's his last game before he heads to AFCON, you know, in Cote d'Ivoire, doing international duty for Egypt. But look, Liverpool do have players who are capable of doing the job in his absence. Luis Diaz being one, Cody Gakpo being one, as well as Darren Núñez is also there, even though he's been misfiring in front of goal, but he's also there. He can do the job. Curtis Jones is also another one, right? So there are many of them. There are many of them that can do the job. So especially Luis Diaz, you know, he had a wonderful game. So he just needs to get that consistency running. You know, he needs to be more consistent.